Today is going to be fun. We're going to change up our frame stamp and get two totally different looks from the same stamp. Welcome back. It's time to take two with Therese at Altenew, and I've got two beautiful cards using the Festive Floral frame stamp set. This is a beautiful frame image, and I want to change it up a little bit today and show you a couple of different ways to use your frame stamps that aren't sort of in the sort of traditional just a frame in the center of a card, which is easy peasy and looks great, but I wanted to change it up and give you some more ideas. So I'm starting by creating a repeated pattern. So I'm basically going to cover the whole front of my card with this frame stamp. I have a piece of the watercolor paper pack cardstock, which is already cut to the same size as the front of my card, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And what I've done here is I've angled the frame across the center of the card. Now, the great thing about the MISTI is I can restamp if I don't get a perfect image the first time. I can also move my stamp around, and that way I can make sure that it's lined up perfectly before I commit to stamping. I am using a piece of acetate here beneath my stamp image before I pick it up on the lid of the MISTI. That just helps protect any black ink that I might have on the stamp if I haven't cleaned it properly in between stamping. And this last portion here, even though the stamp does hang off a little bit over the edge of the MISTI, I didn't have a problem with stamping it because I was only needing to put pressure on the area that was going to be on the actual cardstock. You could also use any other sort of stamp positioning tool that you might have. You could even stamp it with a block, and I just felt it was easier for me to line this up, and then I could just flip the paper around and restamp. It was so easy to do, and I really liked the way that turned out with just the black and white, and I did seriously think about just leaving it black and white, but I wanted to take it to the next level. And also this card here, which just stamps a portion of the image. I flipped it around again, and all I'm going to do this time is stamp it on either side or angle, either corner of my cardstock. How easy was that? The colouring I'm doing today is with the watercolour brush marker refills and also some of the watercolour brush markers. I wanted sort of a washy look. I do have trouble getting that some days. I get a bit too perfect with my colouring. I don't like to go outside the lines, and I found that today was one of those days. I just felt like it was all too neat. It wasn't the look I was going for, but I'll show you how I get around that just in a moment. So I start by laying down my colours. I'm using a little bit of water on the cardstock itself and then dropping some of the colour in. These colours are so intense. You need the tiniest bit. They're going to last you forever. And I just love the way that these watercolour brush markers work, as well as the refill colours as a paint. They make it just so easy to add colour. So after I'd done the initial layer of colouring, I did let it dry. I have got a heat tool with a low setting, so if I want to speed things up, I will actually hit the image with a heat tool. And I just felt there wasn't enough depth in the flowers. I was looking to all one colour, which is fine. It could be good as a background, but I wanted to add a bit of depth, so I did come in with the Dusk as a brush marker, and also the Just Green one to add some darker colours to the flowers. But to me, it was still looking too neat. It just wasn't how I pictured it. So I came in with a spray. This is how I fixed it. Well, I wasn't sure how I was going to go, and that's why I'm practicing on the little one first. I've seen this technique done before, and I don't know that I've ever been really game to use it myself. and I was really surprised at how much water I needed to add. And because this is a watercolor cardstock, it tolerated it really well. There was minimal warping, although I did run, oh, I should say, there was a minimal warping after it dried, but I did actually have to run it through my die cutting machine just to flatten it out a little bit. But how cool did those colors mix with the, I was impressed. I just love that sort of washy look, and that's more what I was going for. It made me much happier. Otherwise I was thinking I should have left it black and white. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think it should be black and white? Should I have kept it without the washy look, or did you like the washy look? Let me know in the comments below. This sentiment today, I've stamped the same one on both cards. I just lined it up with some acetate before I committed, and it's from the Plentiful Pine stamp set, and I did attach both these cards to like one's a top fold and one's a side fold card, and added a few antique gold sequins. So I hope you were inspired to have a look at your frame stamps and maybe just see if there's another way that you can use them, or change them up, or create a repeated pattern, or just partial stamp, and just get more from your stamps and get a totally different look. It's a lot of fun to do. So if you did like today's video, please click on the thumbs up button to let us know that you did, and if you haven't already, it'd be wonderful if you could subscribe to the channel. There's always heaps to see here. Till next time, bye!
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenew's YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.